Hi, welcome to Quirky Queen's Journals. My name is Kirsten. So today we're going to look at different ways to make envelopes and to use envelopes. And the reason we're doing that is because I was going through my stuff that I sell on eBay and I found a load of first day covers and stamps that my mum had gave me about a year ago. I've got a whole load of these first day covers, which are absolutely gorgeous. I need to use the first one just to get over that hump of using it. These are stamps. And so these are unused envelopes of varying sizes, styles, quality, etc. You know when you buy a pack and then you forget where they are and you buy another pack, or with sets of Christmas cards and stuff like that, or letter writing sets. And then I've got these that I got with when I bought my wax seal making kits, and they sent me these envelopes and they're very sturdy. I mean, they're like cardstock, so I was quite happy with that. Now these are ones that I've received in the mail that I consider to be more like the first day covers, where there's prettiness, there's something, you know, the stamps, the fact that they had, you know, they would have been from somebody special. These are my sort of junk mail, or somebody's handed me something in that one. There's still my junk mail stuff. So obviously you get ones with windows and ones without. Oh, and that was a money saving kit I bought last year, where every month you would save up a different amount of money. I did quite well with that for about 6 months. Then I think I needed to make a purchase. So I subscribe to Canva, where you can kind of make your own digitals. So what I've done is I've looked up vintage envelopes, antique envelopes, and I've found some sort of grudged up envelope fronts and backs. So I thought I should have printed them out bigger so they were a bit more of a normal envelope size, but I'll know for next time. But I thought as well we could use these because, you know, that'll add a lot of interest and help the sort of decorating to begin with. And of course, while I was on Canva, I had to print out a lot more stuff. Just look up vintage, antique letters, documents, envelopes, postcards, forms, things like that. You go down a rabbit hole. It kind of takes you there. You just might need to try a wee bit hard to begin with. And the other thing I've got as well, I bought this. I didn't buy this. I got this in a book haul. I bought another two that are about making parcels. It's called Mail It. It's by Pep and Press. It's about £3 on eBay, £3.50. And basically it shows you different ways to make envelopes. Some of them are a bit, you know, a fancy CD mailer. Quite an old book, I think, then. So it shows you different ways to make envelopes, which is quite, I like that one there. We're going to do that one, so I'm not going to show you anymore. So I thought today we could look at different ways to use envelopes. We're going to make a notepad with a writing block. So I've got a lot of ones here that I've decorated quite a lot. I've, you know, sewn them, collaged them, put a lot of work into them. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're going to put a piece of chipboard in here, and I'm going to use the back of this pad. Right, now I've sewn this, so really what we need is this to fit in here. Okay, we should make sure this goes in before we decorate it. There we go, perfect. And now we've got a board that we can lean on. So this is just a tissue paper jelly print that I'm going to stick on. Oh, I'm going to do the orange side actually because I've got that. Good. Just use this. So I've pulled together some papers that obviously need to be the same size. Slightly smaller than this actually. Now I've got myself some old notepads. Again, just came in a book. You know when I've been buying books? 1968. Oh, it's plain on the back. I like that variety. 9 centimetres by... Oh, now I need to do maths. 17 and a half. So we'll make these 17 by 8.5. Okay. So I've got all my bits of paper. I've also pulled out a paper clip that has a little, I've put a little charm on it, just slotted it on there. So we'll put this in because I want to see where it sits. Because then I will paper clip these on accordingly. The reason I'm using a paper clip is so we can replace this. So I want it to sit about there, so I would slot the paper clip accordingly. But I do want to put these together first. So what I'm going to do is when I show you everything at the end, I'll have my sewing machine out before then and I'll sew everything so the shit looks nice. So at the moment, I am using the glue to hold the pages in place, but I will then run my sewing machine over it also. I like to put glue, this Mod Podge, on the outside of the material because it seals it, and it means you've kind of got a chance to wipe it if you want to. Okay, so we're a wee bit drier now. We're still not, no, we're dry. So like I say, I will put it through my sewing machine. Not that you need to, just I like the look. And it will match in with this envelope better, won't it? Okay. Right, that's the writing board in. So at the end of the day, as long as you go underneath the writing board, you could slip some other bits and pieces in there as well. You could also make this writing block a lot bigger, but anyway, I'm positioning it so that it is on the writing board at all areas. I need a bigger paper clip. There you go. Lovely. Also, we could put a closure on this as well. I love that, and it's solid at the back. So the next thing we're going to do, oh mum, is we're going to make an extending page, so almost like a hidden letter. So I'm just taking this apart somewhat carefully. I want to keep the seams intact, so all we're going to do is attach paper that we can write on. I've found this bit of paper out of a children's sort of sketch pad. Oh, I need to take the tiniest wee bit off the edges. We want to keep it as long as possible, but we want it to be securely attached. So I reckon we'll just keep a bit of it up in here. Okay, that's better. Yes. And you could also put something in here. Okay, so I've put on a wee bit of decoration inside, and I've just lightly inked up around the paper edges and the folds. So it'll be nice when you open it and you see this. Now I'm debating about whether to take this off. No, I'm not going to take it off. Should I stick it down though? Okay. There, that's more like it, isn't it? Perfect. I think I'm just going to use a bit of washi tape on the edges here. There, I think that's ideal. But then, I think we should decorate this. I've just decorated the front cover. It looks lovely. And I'm just, can't find my eyelets, but we're going to improvise. So I've got a wee bit of material here. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Found an eyelet at last. It was actually where they should have been. So I've made myself this. It's basically string, just string. That's my eyelet there with my wee tab of material. I regret using that material because it looks like something you would get on clothes or something. But I'll know for next time. Do you know, mate? A wee bit of ink never goes wrong, does it? Maybe this time it did though. Oh, well. Anyway, so this is just one long piece of string, a couple of knots with some balls, beads even. So I'm just holding it here at the end. I found my centre point for the loop. Moving the dog hairs out the way. And there you go. So to open it, just like before, but you don't need to take it out of the eyelet. It sits quite well in the eyelet. And then we'll just do the washi tape to take that off, because that's resealable. You can open it up. Beautiful. Plenty of writing space. Obviously you could decorate this more as well. And because we've got this seal around it, it's okay that those two are a bit not the best adhesive. That's stuck there. Perfect, and it's easy enough to reset those little beads. Oh, I love this. We're going to make a photo frame, and for this one I'm going to be very big and brave. And I'm going to use one of my mum's first day covers. What I want to do is cut out my parents' old address, because This is the house that went on fire. Oh, I can't believe I'm using this. I don't know why it's so. I think it's because I knew how precious they were when they came through the post. And they're old. So what I'm going to do is cut this out. I'm going to put some ink around here. Okay, I've decided. I was looking at this because I feel like it goes well. It's just a bit blah, isn't it? Whereas this is fabulous. Okay. So I'm going to put the envelope back together now. And I'm just going to glue down all the edges. Obviously this could be a photo of your family, something a bit more meaningful. However, I just think it's beautiful, and do you know, I just wanted to make something quite simple and something that didn't tear us apart too much, although I did cut out a big section, but you know what I mean. So, and I'll keep the dog to use for something else. So I'll get this sewn up as well before I show you. Next, we're going to make a file system. This is just a very basic one that I made just to show you the start. You want some envelopes that are the same size. 4, 5. Let's do 8. Okay, I've got my 8 envelopes. So what we're going to do now is we'll make sure they're all facing the same way. It doesn't matter their size as long as they're all the same and whatever you're going to use as your surround can contain them. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut them down here. Okay, we'll just put the tops to one side. I'm sure we can use them for something. They've got some stickiness if nothing else. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my envelopes together. However, you do need to leave some area around the side, because if you've got this stuck together, like I'll even just use the inner 4. You can't use them. They won't. You can't have them all open at the same time, which means you can't have items stored in them. Now you could mark it out, but it just seems like a lot of work to do that. I'm not taking the tape off yet, because what I want to do is I want to decorate the sides and the top. I'm probably just going to use I have this washi tape that I'm not too keen on, that I'm just going to use to decorate the top with. Okay, so that's me. I put washi tape at the top of them all. It's just looks nicer and it's helped to reinforce the top. Now what I'm going to do is decorate the sides of the pages, because as you can see there, we've got all this white space showing. So these are like giant washi stickers. That whole page peels off. So I've put the washi tape around the edges, and I've also put lace onto the edges as well. I just use the double-sided sticky tape for ease. Although to be honest, peeling the backing off, it takes just as long as gluing. Anyway, so I just put a strip on each side. And then at the back, measure my lace. I need 4 bits. There we go. So I want to put some tabs on. Now I'm just going to staple them on. I'm going to be bold. And this is the material I want to use. I would love to put these all on with eyelets, but they are going to be quite hidden, which is fine. They should be treated even though they are going to be hidden, but I don't have enough. So when we look here, we have to be aware that we can't go in too far to the middle. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll do the first one at that end, second one at this end, third one, fourth one, just so it does give it a little bit of a division. We want to try and get these as evenly matched with each other as possible. We're also going to be sensible about it and realise that we could have some errors along the way. I'm using my bottom 2 corners as my guide. There we go. Oh, that is much nicer decorated up, isn't it? So I found a soft journal cover that I'd made before from Book Pages that I'm going to use for this. Now what I have realised is I'd also need to do round the edges here. Okay. So that's not coming off the front cover, is it? I'm just going to remove all of these. I'm just going to leave the slightest gap here. I'm going to centre it roughly. So obviously we want, I'm more rounding than bending this, because while we don't need so much space at the bottom, we do need the space. I have left a little bit there. I haven't made it. I've left a bit of a gap at the bottom, but more of a gap at the top. So and that's it done. Do you know, I was going to add dangles like I did to the other one, but I'm not going to. I think that the ribbon gives everything it needs, and it'll be overkill. But yeah, I really love this. So obviously you can't be putting all your tools in there and really heavy items, but see, like or very bulky as well, but see things like your stickers, tags, you know, scrap papers. Actually would be really good to keep small scrap papers in by colour or weight of paper or style or whatever. And then as before, we just pull that down and close it off. Oh, look at that, I've pulled it all the way around. There we go. Like, you could even put it in a bow. Which you wouldn't keep doing, because if you're actually going to use it, then it's... Oh, there we go. How fabulous. Anyway, so that's the accordion envelope filing system. Our next use for envelopes is an altered paper clip. So I've just gave them a little decorate, nothing too fancy. Just a bit plainer on this side and a bit more erratic on this side. So what I'm going to do is stick these together. Both the areas where they had the sealant on them. This is 5 envelopes, 5 different ways. Obviously there's a lot more ways, but I just chose something I felt might give a little bit of value that's I feel maybe a wee bit different than just using them to hold things like tags or pockets and journals. So this is a notebook, and it's got a writing board inside the envelope, just chipboard so that you can actually write on it. This is the extending envelope, so that basically the letter and the envelope are combined. This is the first day cover. So this is, you know, this is taking an envelope that's very decorative or valuable to you and just making more of it. I ended up just attaching the dog with a paper clip. You could also use that as a tag, a horizontal tag in a side pocket, a giant side pocket. You know what I mean? This is the accordion envelope filing system that we made with the similar closure to the extending letter, and this is the altered paper clip envelopes that we made. Now I've changed the paper clip, so we'll see if we have any more luck with this. I think the white paper clip, I had overly manipulated it. Ideally I would like a big silver paper clip. But there we go. That's our 5 envelopes, 5 different ways. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to see you soon. Take care, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you, bye.